Can I?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
I want to tell, and I think that you will probably all have a version of this, but it was never been more clear to me than in this moment how interesting it is the way that memory works. So I was on another podcast. I'm sorry.
What?
I know.
Whoa.
I was doing Oops, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm about to name your podcast incorrectly, but it was like the video game robot podcast where a video game robot makes up a video game and then you describe it. And I, at one point, with full confidence, I don't remember how we got to this point, but I was like, I wrote a giraffe. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah. At the Santa Barbara Zoo, where I grew up, I wrote on a giraffe. Now, the second that this sentence left my mouth, another sentence came in and was like, hold on, bud. Let's think about that for 1 second. Because I know that you said it and that you believe it, that you wrote a giraffe. And I, in that moment, was like, okay, pause. I don't know if I wrote a giraffe. And I do need to text my mother because the more that I think about this, the more this seems impossible. And I texted my mom. I was like, Mom, did I ride a giraffe at the Santa Barbara Zoo? Did the Santa Barbara Zoo offer giraffe rides to people? And she was basically like, absolutely not. There's no way that this is true. And then I was like, okay. She was like, I think there were camel rides at the zoo. And I was like, yes, okay. That's what it was. First, I wasn't sure it wasn't an elephant because I know some zoos do that. But the Santa Barbara Zoo didn't have that big of an elephant exhibit. So I was like, okay, you rode a camel. The Santa Barbara Zoo did have was a giraffe with a famously crooked neck.
Yes, I've seen that giraffe.
I've seen that giraffe multiple times. It passed away in a couple years, but it lived like a very long, good life, but had a very funny neck that it was like famous for.
Wow.
But if you go and Google a picture of a giraffe, you'd be like, there's no way. They're slanty boys.
Yeah.
Like there's nowhere to put a person on.
Yeah.
And also to reach, you'd have to have like a really, really, really long lead, like where like a you know, like a bridle, you know, like for a horse. It would have to be like
Dana, that part is not as hard to imagine.
But then you have to lead.
Wait, what are you describing?
They don't make leads that long.
At the front of the nose, like the snout, you know, and
the
then
steering wheel,
and then there'd be somebody, I'm assuming on the ground, holding like the end of the rope, essentially a rope.
So you're saying it would be hard to ride a giraffe because ropes aren't that long.
I feel like it'd be one man could not control like an out of control giraffe.
Yes, it is. I mean, that's in the Bible. One man shall not control a giraffe. That's an abomination.
Yeah.
How old would you have been when you rode this giraffe?
Well, again, it was definitely a camel. But I'm
right. Just in your mind,
I'm not good at remembering aging myself as a child. But I'm going to say it's
a child.
5 or under.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Young.
Now, here's what I'll say.
Could have been 3.
Now that we're thinking about it.
Did I ride a giraffe?
No. You absolutely did
And
not.
did my mom, was she lying?
Yeah.
To hide the shameful secret of our family.
That you jumped on a giraffe and you were like, woo! When you think about it, giraffes and camels, very similar faces.
Well, this is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like my memory, I think, was combining my obsession with this giraffe at the zoo and the memory of riding a camel.
Like those are two animals I don't super connect in my head as being brethren, but their
when
faces.
you think about
you think about it and you picture their faces,
they're big, funny horse boys.
Yeah, they're
and girls.
Yeah, we have funny horse friends.
in this giraffe,
they do have camel
the
face.
crooked neck kind of resembled maybe a camel hump in my memory.
Oh.
It was, I mean, it's not in the right place, though.
Not in the
thing.
right place at all.
So
Not in the right place.
I'm just
in that
trying
it
to
is
get to a
in-
5-year-old Zach's brain.
Yeah.
Maybe your imagination.
It's possible. I don't know. I'm just glad that my mom is keeping me on the straight and narrow here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
I wonder if like camels were like they had like back problem. They were like the back problemed offspring of a giraffe, and then they all just like, you know, got together and they just kept making more camels.
Now, that is an interesting theory. Dana, that you are free to go on the internet and espouse.
Well, I'm looking at. I am on the internet, just looking at a camel.
The idea that evolution works as in the negative of like,
Right.
you know what? We all have this same owie. Let's be friends.
Yeah. Let's make more owie.
I want to stick together with my friends who have similar owies.
You know what? It's not a bug. It's a feature.
That's
These
right.
weird bumpy backs we have, actually, we like them.
We like them.
And our shorter necks, we like them too.
We like them. And this is not about water storage. This is about little owies.
I found a fact. One fact. Okay,
One small fact.
Here's this fact.
About bags of camels.
Yeah, one small fact. Okay,
One
so
small
there's
fact with Dana.
Artiodactyl is any member of the mammalian order, or even-toed ungulates, which include pigs, hippopotamuses, camels, deer, giraffes, antelopes, sheep. So I guess it's like this is like their toes, or like their like their. But I was wondering what the evolution tree element was with camels and giraffes. Anyway, so they are part of the same little like zone.
Yeah.
yeah.
All these horse boys, these antelopes, they're all. I mean, you can see it in their beady little eyes. They all worship the same god.
What? Somebody said giraffe is a cross between a camel and a leopard. What?
I think that
Was that
seems. I
person
don't think that's a
five?
fact.
That
Yeah.
seems like illegal.
Listen. You can say whatever you want online. No one will check you, and it'll be totally fine.
All up in these comments saying, did you know that a toad is actually half fish, half lion? And you don't get to tell me that I'm lying. I just wrote that comment and I wasn't even trying.
A turtle is just a stretched out snake, but it's stretched in different ways.
And a fox is just a tiny earthworm that ate too much salad and grew fur.
It's true, you can put it on the internet with no repercussions. It's true, you can put it on the internet with no repercussions.
Say what you
And
want
no
and want what you
discussion.
say.
You know, basketball was invented from soccer when someone picked it up and was like, no, I meant to do that.
And did you know that foosball came first before the soccer? It's true. They were like, I like this game, but what if we played it as real people too?
The big goalposts at the end of a football field are made after the wishbone, cause it's invented by a doctor.
And a wishbone, if you get the small side, you have to pay more in taxes.
And every single thing we said is true. You can put it on the internet with no repercussions and no discussion. It's true. You can put it on the internet with no repercussions. And here's more internet facts.
Every time you use a toothpick, you just killed a flea.
Floss is made from string in the Serengeti.
If a starfish grows a sixth leg, it actually becomes an octopus.
There's no such thing as telephone poles. They're all trees. It's true. You can put it on
Discussions over. A giraffe is half camel, half leopard. Wow. We'll be right back after this.